Ashley's 13 years old. She's getting ready to start the 7th grade. And a few days ago, she just gave birth to a baby boy. You see, what happened is that in fall of 2022, Ashley was playing in her front yard in Clarksdale, Mississippi, when a man came up and raped her and then left. Because Ashley was 12 years old at the time, her mom hadn't had the talk with her because she was a child. So Ashley didn't know how babies were made. But Ashley's mom did notice the fact that Ashley stopped doing the things that she enjoyed doing. She would often lock herself in her room. And when her birthday came around, instead of wanting to celebrate, she just said that it hurt. Well, when her mom would ask her what was wrong, Ashley would cry and say that she didn't want to tell her. She was ashamed and she was embarrassed, even though she's the victim. Then in January, Ashley started throwing up to the point that her mom decided to take her to the hospital. That's when they did blood work, and that's when they found out that Ashley was pregnant. Ashley's mom asked if there was anything that they could do to terminate this pregnancy, and her doctor told her, had this been 7 months ago, before the overturning of Roe v. Wade and before the trigger laws went into effect, she would have had options. They could have sent her an hour and a half away to Memphis to have an abortion. But now the closest place they could have gone is Chicago, Illinois, a 9-hour drive. This area of Mississippi is very impoverished, very poor. They didn't have money for hotels, a trip up there, gas, food, etc. So they did what they could only do, which is nothing. And Ashley had the baby. In the area that Ashley lives, which encompasses about the size of the state of Delaware, there are a total of 9 OBGYNs, and that number keeps decreasing as doctors leave and retire. The state of Mississippi has the second highest maternal mortality rate in the entire country. In the area that Ashley lives, the Mississippi Delta, is the highest in that state. In these states that have very stringent abortion bans, good doctors are leaving or retiring. 3rd and 4th year medical students, when surveyed, 80% of them said that they would not go to one of these states, again, depriving more women of great health care. Because you have to understand that in these states where there's going to be a lack of doctors, where there already is a lack of doctors, not only is maternal medicine going to be impacted, but so is women's health in general. Now, technically speaking, Mississippi does have 2 exceptions for abortion. One is rape, and the other is life of the mother. However, since these laws have gone into effect, Mississippi's only made 2 exceptions total. And nobody knows exactly how those exceptions came about. And because of the laws of this state, a middle school girl now has a very unwanted baby, a baby that was conceived in violence, a young girl who can't get her own house, she can't get her own food, she can't drive a car, but the state of Mississippi expects her to raise a baby. Oh, and by the way, from what I read, they never caught the guy who did this to her, and there are no consequences for him whatsoever. But now, a 13-year-old girl's life is completely ruined.